on, intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. What's going on, main characters? It's your boy Talks Too Much with Third Party Studios. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Blood of Dawnwalker cinematic trailer that just dropped. It's brought to us from the game director for Witcher 3, so we all have expectations being pretty high. Before we get into it, subscribe to the channel if you are new, share the video out there, smash that like button, and don't forget to check out the merch store with the link in the description below. With all of that out of the way, let's get into it. You don't need AAA tremendously large studios to pull this stuff off. You just need a little bit of time, some resources, and just effort. And the desire to do so is, I think, one of the biggest obstacles. Because
yeah, and these are basically the people that left when CDPR went full DEI.
Yep. And
they're like, we're gonna give time off for menstruating, and then like dudes started taking advantage of that. It's like, yeah, I can menstruate.
I can do it too.
Like, all right, I'm leaving this company.
The vampire thing, the 13th century vampire thing is super cool though. So it's like really good medieval setting. You're dealing with vampires. You're gonna be slaying and swinging your sword around, kicking ass. I'm excited.
I want a good vampire game because they're like none really out there.
There really aren't. We
got like Vampire back in a couple of years ago. I never played it.
But it existed, and it wasn't like a major blockbuster. And I wouldn't make the case that it was a major blockbuster.
No, it really wasn't.
Yeah, and then
I think the best, like the definitive one, would be like Bloodlines. And then that came out in like fucking 2004 or something.
Yeah, I mean, then we have just comments in the article talking about the comparison between this and the Witcher 4 teaser trailer. Like, this is beautiful. This is amazing. This is really getting me excited for a new project. And I can't.
Yeah, and they're like, in summer we'll fucking drop a gameplay trailer. So I imagine this is gonna drop late this year. Yeah,
I mean, I mean that timeline makes sense to me. It's The Witcher 4 is probably the more concerning project to be, because we've only seen the teaser trailer for it, and there's still a lot more to be fleshed out. But you know, from CD Projekt Red, I'm starting to really suspect that they're going to be doing some Sweet Baby Inc. inclusions and bullshit like that into the project, and they're just not showing it.
I'm actually kind of surprised by my own reaction to Witcher 4, to where it's like I'm apathetic to it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Once it was like revealed that you're playing Ciri, it's like, I got no problem with Ciri as a character, good character, but I just don't care. If you were gonna make a fourth, you should have just almost made it more like customizable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Witcher universe is large enough that you could also you could find a new character to play into it, right? I mean, like there's unexplored territories. That was their whole.
You could create another Witcher from a different school or something.
Yeah, I mean that was
like working.
Wasn't that their whole argument for the spin-off show that we just talked about? It's like their whole argument was like, we could do new things in the Witcher universe. It's like, that was their whole...
I don't think you can.
Yeah. Honestly...
you specifically can't, but maybe someone else could.
All right. So what do we got here? So from Rebel Wolves is taking a fresh approach to open world storytelling, describes the game as a narrative sandbox where the distinction between main and side quest is deliberately blurred. Every choice matters. The progression of time ensures that no playthrough will be the same. This emphasis on replayability and player agency is a welcome shift for the genre, especially after years of cookie-cutter RPGs from larger studios. You know, I think about this and I compare it to like Larian Studios with like Baldur's Gate, where there's obviously not a clock on it, but you do have so much. Like, the thing that made that amazing is that the character creation and your playthrough and the choices were still impactful and significant to the story, but it didn't have a clock on it. This new clock idea, and the idea that you have, like, you're not telling them what the side and main quest lines are, or at least making that intentionally difficult to interpret, I think that's a brilliant take on the idea. Yeah.
Well, it's like with one, I'm not a big fan of time limits in games. I fucking hate them, but maybe this will work and I'm gonna play it. But with The Witcher 3, and everyone's been trying to kind of copy this since it dropped is that the side quests are almost a main quest in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole Bloody Baron side, there's this, you meet him in this story, but then also he's got his own side quest, and that side quest goes on for like fucking hours, and it's a story in itself, and it's so fucking good. And they have multiple side quests like that.
But they're not.
Y-
But you're not a fan of the time resource management thing.
I fucking hate time limits in games.
Let me see. So we got a
If
quote
I'm
here.
rushed to do something in a game, it it stresses me out, man.
I understand that. I wonder
Because
what
I
the
want to
timeline.
do everything possible in the game.
I wonder what the
It's like I wanna
timeline
hit every step.
will look like actually. Like how long you'll have like of in-game time. I wonder
It's
what.
30 days that I heard, but I don't know how long a day lasts.
Right. In Minecraft, that's 10 minutes. So it's not a long time.
Yeah, it's not going to be that short.
So the quote goes, time is a resource, and with each quest progressing its passage, it is impossible to complete all stories and arcs before the dreadful deadline, making each playthrough unique. I think that's amazing. I like that a lot. I think that that's a good way to approach gaming. Like, you used to tell me once upon a time, like this is back when like Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor were kind of coming out and being talked about in multiplayer, because every area of the map was maybe a little bit more difficult, but you had all of these side quests, all these little things you had to go and pick up and clean up around the map that were basically just these nuggets of white goo left behind by the writers who were jerking themselves off. And
It's ectoplasm. There was a ghost.
Ectoplasm. Oh, it's a ghost.
It's a spooky ghost.
I love that reference right now. That's so freaking, that lands so hard for me since I've been watching South Park. But yeah, you I mean, are you now playing games like especially RPGs as a clean up as I go, get through, make sure I get everything and get the full experience out of a game, or are you still playing like a main quest line and if only the side quests that are interesting, or are you still
I'm trying to train myself out of like what like good examples. I'm replaying Mass Effect Andromeda right now,
yeah.
and I've actually gone more down the rabbit hole of like I have to do everything on this planet before I leave it and go to the next story thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to train my brain out of that. It's like go to the story thing, you can always come back instead of spending 10 hours doing random bullshit and then picking up the story again.
Right. And I mean, it's
But I'm becoming more OCD in the fact where it's like I gotta do everything that I can do here and now and then move on.
right.
But
I think that so another line at the end of the article kind of goes something like, so for those disillusioned by CD Projekt Red's trajectory, The Blood of Dawnwalker offers hope, return to uncompromised artistry and storytelling that doesn't bow to modern ideological trends. It's a game that promises to prioritize player immersion and creativity over messaging, a refreshing direction in today's gaming landscape. Yes, I think that, what was the name of their studio? Rebel Wolves. Yeah. So Rebel Wolves Studio, I like it. We need more studios that are coming out and just bringing us back to neutrality. And
it's like they're taking notes from their neighbor over at War Horse Studio that makes Kingdom Come Deliverance, and that one's coming out next month, I think, too.
yeah, I think gaming has a good. I think I'm excited to see where gaming goes. In the context that we have Larian Studios, who's just still winning awards even 2 years after release. Got a new patch they're doing stress tests for, I think in the upcoming month or two, and that patch is going to be huge. So Baldur's Gate 3 is still a big thing. You have what was it? Black Myth Wukong, Space Marines 2. You had all these huge wins for gaming last year. And
quick side note: when it comes to Larian Studios and Baldur's Gate 3, they have the world record of the most like the biggest, longest script, most dialogue or whatever in a game.
whoa, and they don't
like,
even they don't
like
even have AI.
All right, I think it's like 1.8 to 2 million lines of dialogue or some shit.
Jesus. Well, good.
And
I mean,
not CD Projekt Red, Warhorse with Kingdom Come 2, I think it's reported to be up to 2.2, I think.
that's insane.
Million. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what I wonder how that compares
It's a
to
long ass fucking script.
Well, but I wonder how that compares to games like Mass Effect, where like because I know you love the spinning the dialogue wheels. I know you love them. I know you love dialogue choices. So I'd be curious to see how that compares to like those games, which were back when we were doing the War Room on the channel. I mean, you made the case for that for game mechanics. I think when we were doing the game mechanics War Room. So I'm curious to see how much dialogue Mass Effect games have.
Yeah, I mean it's nowhere near that because they're shorter games.
Well, and they're much older. I mean, I'm not
much older.
Yeah, I would say like I'd love to see the proportionality to it, not
A lot of
necessarily
games,
the scale.
a lot of games these days like give you the illusion of choice, where it's like, all right, pick your response, and then you could go through all three, and then your character says something, and then the response from another character will be the same.
Well, like Dragon
regardless.
Age Veilguard, where no matter what you do, you can't piss off your teammates.
Yeah, it's either yes, yes, or yes.
I love that. Honestly, I'm excited for this. I'm definitely gonna give this one a shot. Sounds like you're looking forward to maybe doing like some talking about it, reviewing it, giving thoughts on it.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean it's the fucking director from Witcher 3, which was one of the greatest RPGs of all time. So
We'll definitely be talking about it for sure. So stay tuned.
yeah.
We'll check in more on that, guys.
I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits. Don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.